Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Oh my God. I feel like we have a lot to talk about today. I feel like it's one of
Well,
those days.
I think so too. I really think so too.
Welcome to
I'm
Ageless Adventures, everyone. Do you want to introduce ourselves today? I'm Jenn Letterer. Who are you?
I am Marla Schultz.
Amazing. Okay, guys,
Yes.
this whole conversation that we come here and have every week is really about playing with the dynamics of relationships between women and what happens when we actually support each other and are honest with each other. And then looking at, oh, you don't even have to be the same age as somebody to relate to them and have the same experiences. And so that's what this is all about. And because we're ageless, we start by checking in with how old we feel every week. So Marla, you're how old?
I'm 150.
Oh God.
I feel like I have the weight of the world. I am mother time. I'm trying to be positive. The hits keep coming, but I just have to believe in humanity.
Yeah.
And so I feel that emotionally and spiritually, but I actually feel like maybe I'm 40 because I was in
Oh.
really good shape at 40. So I feel like I've gotten off of sugar. It's 4 days and I've been doing my little Lucy Chapman. I'm in Lucy's gang. You can find her on Facebook, and she's got these back fat 7-minute back fat workouts.
Oh my God, back fat.
And I found an apple workshop because apparently I'm an apple, not a pear, because it's all here.
Oh.
So, yep.
Isn't that nice of them to compare our bodies to fruit?
Absolutely. Thank God I'm not, you know what? Maybe being a banana wouldn't be so bad.
I don't know. That a banana wouldn't, I would assume they have scoliosis of some kind.
Right. Or you turn into one of those old ladies that are like shuffling down the street and all they can
Oh my
see
God.
is, so
I don't know how those people get around where they have to literally, they're walking and then you see them stop to look up and like check where they are.
yeah, it's like, where are
Oh
we?
my God.
Oh, did I cross the street? Am I in the middle of the block? Hello.
There are people I see walking around our neighborhood sometimes where I run out and do an errand and I see them. And then like 2 hours later, I run out to do something else. And they're like just starting to walk back.
I am telling you,
Oh,
that's like I have a bunker of because I've had a couple of surgeries and they're like,
yeah,
what kind of pain medicine would you like? I'm like, just give it to me.
right,
Give me the good stuff. And
right.
it's in the vault for that
Yeah,
purpose.
that the information about the vault is in my vault. I got that locked in there. I'm like, at last, when I need the last fight, we go to Marla's vault.
We go to Marla's vault, and for you, because I love you, it's I think I'll be able to share
I
the
hope
shizzle.
so, because I will fight you for it.
Oh, and I got some good stuff. I mean, I pay out the nose for good insurance, so I get to go to HSS.
Okay, but
Give you
here's the
whatever you
thing.
want.
If we do fight for it, we should videotape it and then post it, because that will be what makes us our millionaire.
Oh yeah, post mortem. They'll be like, "Oh my God, they were so funny. How come I didn't like or watch their show? Oh wow, they got a
Where have
YouTube
they been
channel.
this whole time?
Crazy." So how old do you feel? How old are you? You're how old?
There we go. I have been feeling, specifically, there is one moment in ninth grade where I was in biology and I thought that I made a noise in my head from being overwhelmed, but it actually was a noise that I was making out loud. And I was sitting in the back of the classroom and I was just like, like a teapot kettle ready to burst. And my teacher looked at me, everyone turned around and looked at me and she goes, Jen, you okay? And I was like, oh yep, I'm fine, totally fine. Didn't realize that was coming out. That's how I feel this week, is just, oh, everyone's about to blow up. Everyone is about to really find their edge if we haven't found it already.
Yep. You know, I made a little noise like that. I was in 10th grade algebra, and I rolled into class late, and I was flying stoned, like so stoned. And I was sitting in the front, and he was asking me a question, but I felt like a little man. It was like starting here, and then like air was just, and I couldn't stop burping. And I was making this like, this yelpy, weird, like, like hiccup. And I couldn't stop. And I got kicked out of class because it was obvious I was on something.
Do you think that's where your obsession with bodily functions came from?
No, it was 6th grade. My best friend's brother, Rob, we were going to the beach, and I guess I had some pubic hair sticking out of the, corner of my bathing suit. And he goes, "Oh my God, yeah." And I was like, "Body hair." And boom, I was off and running.
Whoa.
Yep.
That guy.
Hey, I also wanted to add something to a little bit of the description too, because we use as a blueprint, as a roadmap per se, Dead to Me, because we love exploring the relationship between these two wacky chicks that get thrown into a incredibly unbelievable situation where a friendship is born, and then it turns into a support system. But it's also I think the friendship and the show is a real metaphor for what is going on in the world and how we God, I can't even talk. Relate and react to world events, what's happening, and also in our own interpersonal relationships, be it, your partner, your friends, that kind of stuff. So I think I love this show.
Yeah, we're up to episode 6. We're watching season 1 all the way through. This episode is called Oh My God. And if you don't know, it stars Linda Cardellini and, oh my God, Christina
Applegate.
Christina Applegate plays Jenn with one N. And
big distinction.
Linda plays Judy. So this episode I've described as the shit hits the fan. So up until this point, the shit has been happening. Like the shit is starting to be in the air, but now the fan is on and it's hitting it. And it's really the consequences of the actions and of the secrets and of the assumptions are starting to come to light.
Right. And you know what? A good metaphor, because now they're saying that you got to close the toilet lid, because when the poop gets macerated, it could go and then spread the virus. But that's like a whole nother.
I've known that for years. Me too. It's like, come on. Isn't that kind of common sense that like what it's anyway.
Okay. I digress. And that was whatever. But so you were saying.
So are you Judy or Jenn in this episode? Who do you resonate with?
Once again, I would say it's 80% Jenn and maybe 85% Jenn and 15% Judy. How about you?
Okay, so the 85% Jenn, I would imagine, because she is. So I feel like I'm Jenn as well, in that she's very just involved with herself and how she's dealing with all of the trauma. And so she assumes, because she hasn't asked, that her kids are doing just fine. And like they're fronting that they have it together. And so she's just not asking. It's like, if it ain't broke, I got enough going on. And Correct. So I'm like, that's not really one of my favorite qualities about myself. But yes, I can absolutely see when even with what's going on in today's world, we all are seeing this from our own perspective. So having that reminder of like, maybe you should ask the people that look like they have their shit together if they
Right.
actually do. But especially children. So am I right in assuming that that's why you relate to her?
Well, no, that, and also when you are in it, like when you feel like you're an emotional, when the crap's hitting the fan, you're in an emotional quicksand. You're doing everything. It's like treading water. You're doing everything to keep it all together because first of all, you have people depending on you. You're a mom, you're a friend, you're a wife, you're a husband. You're treading water, particularly when there's a death involved and there's kids involved. If you ask, and you do need to assume that your kids are doing okay because outwardly they seem like they are. But the minute you start looking under the hood and you start discovering problems, it's just another thing. She is just trying to maintain some sort of degree or a modicum of just normalcy, because she doesn't want to feel her feelings. I've done that.
Right.
It's
like another thread in what she thought was controlled.
Yeah.
What she thought was handled. It's like she's still in the unraveling.
Correct.
And I think we are all also still in the unraveling. We so badly want to be in the rebuild.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're not there yet.
No, we're not there yet. But then also, it's like discovering that you're being cheated on. That is such a gut punch, and then all of a sudden your kids are dealing drugs. But you see that they are living life exactly, you have imprinted them with how you are in the world.
Right.
And, it then could dovetail into sorry, not sorry, which is, I've lived a lot. You're just like, wow, can't believe I skidded into that one and got off scot-free. You know what I mean?
Oh, so are you talking about which character are you talking about?
Oh, I think Jenn and Judy, because for Jenn to be called on the carpet because her kid is selling drugs, and all of a sudden she's just like, oh my God. And her way of dealing is talking to the principal and going, so how's things going with the house? Like, I mean, she is just trying to like backpedal and kind of just gloss over the severity of the situation, which I know I have done,
Yeah.
How about you?
I also relate to the teenager in this episode. Both of the kids, of how they are just deciding to control what they can control, which is actually creating more chaos, which at least then they're feeling something.
Right.
I didn't sell drugs, but I brought alcohol to dance team camp in 9th grade. And
that's funny.
I brought it because I so badly wanted to be accepted. And it was after some shit had hit the fan in my life. And the seniors asked me to bring alcohol, and I brought it, and then they reported me.
Nice.
And I was like, and that is really where I had already felt like a divide between myself and my girlfriends. And then that was like, oh, I can't trust women. Okay,
right.
Good to know. So then from there, it was like the unlearning of that. But when I got caught, what I really related to in that sorry, not sorry, with the consequences I didn't have to face, they didn't bring the cops into it.
Right.
Just like they didn't in this episode. It was like, listen, we could lay down the hammer on you.
Right.
But we're not gonna. And I think that, I don't know that this show meant to present a bit of white privilege, right? In that scenario of when you're in a certain type of school system, when you have certain type of leadership, certain type of people who the principal said, because of everything going on in your life, right? They take the circumstances into consideration with this type of thing, which doesn't always happen. Happened for me. I still had to go to rehab 3 days a week for 6 months.
How old were you?
14.
You were going to rehab at 14.
Yes, it was that, or I had 2 weeks out of school suspension, the first 2 weeks of ninth grade. Uh-huh. And that, so that gave people plenty of time to like talk about who Jenn Lederer was. Ninth grade in my school district is when the three middle schools come together.
Sure.
So it's when like the countries collide and new friends and cliques and I was out of it for 2 weeks. Yeah. So anyway, I really, really related to the 14-year-old of like, listen, I'm doing what I can over here, and this is how I'm reacting to it. And because he was let off, then they had to fake get him in trouble with the cop to try and make him like feel that this was actually serious.
Right.
So I don't know. There's no real, those are just reflections.
I also think of it as a real call to action for counseling for kids.
Hell yeah.
Because even the young kid who was having a panic attack and an anxiety, who needed structure, he needed rules. I'm familiar with, I have experience with little kids not having my own. I'm a fairyenta to a bunch of, anyway, I have little kids in my life, and I just see how, how they deal with anxiety. And I know how important it is for them to have structure and rules, because the last thing they want to do is get into trouble. And the fact that they don't have a way to facilitate their feelings and saying, Mom, I'm devastated dad died. I can't believe I need you to be my mom. And I do this to call attention because I feel so neglected,
Mm-hmm.
I got to ask you a question though. When you came back to school, were you considered a badass?
I was the popular girl to hate.
I wouldn't have hated you.
You probably wouldn't have. I had a couple friends that stepped forward that stood up for me. But yeah, most people, it took until like the end of 10th grade for people to really stop loving to hate your girl.
Well,
yeah.
Can I tell you what I did in 10th grade? My parents took off every weekend. It was, like the late 70s, early 80s, where they just weren't home. It was almost like, hey, have a good weekend. If you need me here, call the dock master. My dad was a sailor. I used to have these kick-ass keg parties. The whole high school showed up. I was, I went to my 20-year high school reunion, and people were like, oh my God, I had the best time at your parties. And I was like, did you have sex in my house? Because apparently, 534 graduating students, I think maybe, a quarter, if not half, had sex in my house. I mean, or like in the basement. It was, my parties were legendary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
So,
not I had the house for legendary parties, but I really didn't have a ton of them. Our Halloween parties were pretty fun, especially when we were little. But no, by the time I was in high school, I was constantly grounded. So like there really were no parties being had, and my mom never went anywhere. She was like, oh, I guess I won't be traveling like for the next 4 years.
right. And thank you for, putting
for killing my life.
Yeah, thank you. And, I've saved up all this money, and we have all these points, and I can't use them because of you.
Right, because Jenn is experiencing her experience, and now we all have to experience it with her.
Correct, which is what Jenn with one N is doing, and what Judy, Judy, Judy with a Y, not an I, is she's bringing everybody into her chaos.
Yes, this episode I think is control. The theme is really like Judy is starting to get more and more and more control and more sociopathic with like her relationship with this cop. You guys got to watch the show if you want all the intel, you know what I'm saying? But the kids, like especially the little kid who was just unable to be around people's mistakes, to see any moment where things might get out of control. The same reason why the older kid was carrying the gun, like that was, I think, Jenn being like, oh, wow, they
Right.
are not okay, number one. And number two, they don't feel safe and secure.
Right.
And I think that would be very difficult as a mom to realize that you've created this environment and had no idea, like thought they were totally fine.
Right. Right.
So yeah, she is getting one side swipe after another of like, he cheated on you. Your kids are ruining their lives. I mean,
your mother-in-law hates you and
yeah.
is looking for you to trip up so she can take the kids away from you. And she's going to stick her finger. You know, this is a real call for Al-Anon. It's like, you know, you got to put the focus on yourself. I mean, I'm a big 12 stepper. I know it doesn't seem that way. But you know, considering I've been in my addiction, my cupcake addiction, which is so unsexy.
You said you're 4 days off sugar.
I know. I am, and I feel completely different. No. I did a hypnotherapy session, and I'm a big advocate of, you know, and it's just like, I got to get my shit together. So, and I am, because I have to be strong for my husband, my mother, you know, my family, you.
Hell yeah. Don't be falling
Friends.
apart. Please.
Nope. So,
this is
anyway,
a good episode.
Yeah. But it's
like
also an awakening of it's again, it parallels to what's happening, you know, like the red states are waking up. There's science.
Are they?
You know, yeah, because all of a sudden you have like Arizona, the mayor is like, we only have like 6 ICU beds, and the healthcare workers are, you know, this bullshit of they don't have enough PPEs, and the fact that the president won't enact the Defense Protection Act so everybody can get what they need to combat this, so we can get the economy going, you know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see the comparison. We don't feel safe and secure because our leadership is like, they're fine. Nothing's happening.
Correct.
And so
everybody's blowing it off.
Yes.
Yeah. No wonder I'm eating. That's the key to why I was in my addiction. God, this show is like mystically, it's like the unicorn.
I love it. And then also, as the audience of this show, since you see the dynamic of these two, and I love shows where the audience gets the whole picture and then we're just like waiting for the shoe to drop. That helps my anxiety to feel like I'm not about to get sideswiped. I like those shows better because I really like control as well. But I'm just, you're waiting for Jenn to get this other main side swipe of like, oh my God, it's now halfway through season 1. When is she going to find out who Judy really is? Like, that anxiety is starting to build for me as well.
But also, you know, and you know, listen, you've been betrayed by friends. I've had recently a situation where, you know, you think you feel safe with who you thought was one of your best friends for a very long time. And then you find out that they're taking your inventory and they're passing judgment. And you're just, it's such a shitty feeling, you know? I almost think getting betrayed by a girlfriend or having them really talk smack about you is almost worse than getting cheated on, you know?
Yeah, it's a different area of betrayal, right? Like an area in yourself or an area in that relationship dynamic. I think that we maybe subconsciously expect or would be less surprised about a cheat because you can maybe write it off as like physical reasons, biology, we were having a hard time. Like you write it off. When it's like a healthy friendship or you thought, and then you're just like, whoa, you're an entire liar. Like you as a person have been lying to me. It just feels like it cuts a little deeper.
Oh no, it does.
More surprising.
Yeah, because I thought I was being 100% authentic. I own my stuff. But then when you find out, you know, they're taking stock of your entire life and how you live, and just like everything. And then it just makes you feel like you're on a it just makes you feel like you're building a house on a landfill. You're just waiting for it to collapse, and it's a really crappy feeling. And I have to address it. And I just want to be happy. I got too much stress. You don't want somebody pretending that they're offering a sympathetic ear, and it's a safe place to share, and then all of a sudden you're being completely made fun of. It sucks.
Oh yeah, that's gross.
Yep.
That person has to get the hook.
Yep.
Out of here.
Yep.
Hell no. Because again, that's us like protecting ourselves, safe and secure. That's the main thing we need.
And that's why I would go to cupcakes, because you just don't want to believe that this is happening,
Yep.
You just don't want to believe it. You just don't want to believe that there's a massive pandemic happening, and it could have been averted.
Yeah.
If we just took a page out of the Asian countries and wore a mask from the beginning.
But instead we're going to Hunger Games this shit and send the children in and the educators, and we're going to let them fight it out.
Yeah. And hopefully have some sort of herd mentality, which I read an article. I don't want to talk about it, but I don't know if it's going to be possible for this.
Doesn't seem great
to occur. Yeah.
Whew. All right.
Okay.
So
can we get to something funny?
Whoa.
Can I take a sip?
Let's try.
Can I take a sip of my coffee?
We've been trying to laugh for 25 minutes so far. And now we're here at Ageless Advice, our final segment of this hilarious half hour, you guys. Any bad or good ageless advice that you have around control, trust, betrayal, addiction?
Are you asking our two fans?
My mother and my father, who are both watching. Yeah.
Are they really?
They do watch the show. Yes. My mom loves it.
Oh, and my mom watches too, and that's why I've been trying to cut back on my language. And yes. No, I think we have a couple. I don't want to look down. I would prefer if you went first with the ageless advice.
Oh, okay. My ageless advice comes from an ageless song that goes, oh God, wait, how does it go? I completely forget the lyrics now. It's something
Who sang it?
It's something about one way or another.
Pat Benatar.
Find you. Yes. It's gonna get you. Your shit, the inside stuff. Like, we can only run so far until it gets you, and it gets you every time, and it's getting us left, right, and center right now, I feel like. So inside that advice, I think the outreach right now is important. If you're feeling good and solid, like, use that energy to reach out and check on some people. And then if Absolutely. You're not feeling good, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. I really think that in the next coming months, we're going to have to explore some herd mentality and some tribal ways of being. Like, I don't know what education is going to look like, but I know that there's going to be some children that are lacking and some children that are thriving. And like, the parents and the system, we're going to have to step in, is what I'm saying. So I don't know how I got from Pat Benatar to that, but that is my ageless advice.
My ageless advice is, if you get a little, first of all, that was great. And I just want to throw in, I was listening to Marvin Gaye, and one of my favorite songs he sings is What's Going On. And that song is 50 years old. And he was singing about exactly what is happening now.
I know, it's exhausting.
It is. But then Dionne Warwick, who sang a song, it's a Burt Bacharach song. My musical taste goes way back. My dad was a big music fan. is, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. We are so wrong-sided. So I'm just giving a shout out to 2 really good songs. But my ageless advice is, if you get that spidey sense, if something doesn't feel right, do not ignore it. You're going to have to deal with it, because if you don't deal with it and you cover it up with, stooping and shopping and cutting and eating, drinking, cupcakes. Yeah. You're just going to pile on fat and a muffin top, and you turn into an apple, and you have to do workouts, 7-minute workouts.
7 minutes, that's it?
Well, there's 7 minutes back fat blaster, then there's 7 minutes abs. Standing abs are great. And then the legs and arms. So you wind up, it's she's playing a trick. You're like, oh my God, it's only 7 minutes. I have 7 minutes out of the 20 hours I'm awake.
I know. Once I'm done numbly scrolling for the first 14 hours of my day, then I'm ready to get up.
Absolutely. I got my yoga pants on, because it's like, girl, when's the last time you climbed 40 flights of stairs?
Whoa.
Yeah, that's my cardio. So
yeah.
Anyway,
that would be never.
Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
That's why you have good calves.
I was a swimmer. That's why. And I have like that muscular, stocky, athletic. Somebody actually thought I was a bodybuilder. I mean, look at these guns. I don't know if you can see these guns.
Look at those guns. Yeah, your calves are great. They remind me of dancer legs.
Right.
Got great legs.
I don't know the disconnect between the arms, the legs, and then the middle is like quicksand.
That's the apple.
The apple that's fallen off the truck.
But you got a great trunk. Your legs are good.
Right back at you, sister.
Hey.
So, how do we wrap this up? Do we have to wrap it up? Yeah, we do.
And we're done. Link for our YouTube channel and Instagram are in the description of this video. Like us, follow us, validate us, tell us you love us, leave comments.
Validate us.
Let us know what you got from this episode. We're back next week, same time, same place. We love ya.
Peace out.